My wife's best friend tried to seduce me at our anniversary party, so I made sure everyone found out. My wife Rachel and I were celebrating our 10th anniversary with a backyard party at our house in Portland. We'd invited about 40 people, mostly family and close friends. Rachel had been planning it for months, choosing decorations, hiring a caterer, putting together a playlist. She was so excited about the whole thing. Her best friend since college, Vanessa, had flown in from San Francisco for the weekend. Rachel and Vanessa had been inseparable in their 20s, and even though they lived in different cities now, they still talked almost every day. Vanessa was Rachel's maid of honor at our wedding. She was godmother to our daughter Emma. The party started at 6 on a Saturday evening in July. Everything was perfect. The weather was beautiful, the food was great, people were having a good time. Rachel looked stunning in this blue dress she'd bought specifically for the occasion. I kept catching her eye across the yard, and she'd smile at me with this look that said she was exactly where she wanted to be. Around 9:30, most of the guests were gathered around the fire pit in the back of the yard. Emma was inside watching a movie with Rachel's sister's kids. I went into the house to grab more beer from the garage fridge. Vanessa followed me in. I didn't think anything of it at first. She asked if she could help carry anything. I said sure, and handed her a case of White Claw while I grabbed the beer. We walked back through the kitchen, and that's when she stopped me. She put her hand on my chest and told me I looked really good. I laughed it off, said thanks, and tried to move past her. She didn't move. She pressed closer and said she'd always wondered what it would be like with me. I stepped back and told her she was drunk and needed to go outside. She wasn't drunk though. Her eyes were clear and she was completely steady on her feet. She said she wasn't drunk at all, that she'd been thinking about this for years. She said Rachel didn't appreciate me the way she would. She actually tried to kiss me. I turned my head and her lips hit my cheek. I pushed past her and went straight outside, my heart pounding. I found Rachel by the fire and asked if we could talk inside for a second. She looked concerned and followed me in. I told her exactly what had just happened, every detail. Rachel's face went from confused to horrified to absolutely furious in about 10 seconds. She asked where Vanessa was. I said probably still in the kitchen. Rachel marched into the kitchen and I followed. Vanessa was leaning against the counter drinking wine like nothing had happened. Rachel asked her point blank if what I'd said was true. Vanessa had the nerve to laugh and say I was flattering myself, that she'd just given me a friendly hug and I'd misinterpreted it. Rachel looked at me, then back at Vanessa. She said she'd known me for 12 years and I'd never once lied to her or misinterpreted anything. She told Vanessa to get out of her house. Vanessa's face changed. She realized Rachel wasn't buying her denial. She tried to backtrack, said she'd had too much to drink and didn't know what she was saying. Rachel told her she had 5 minutes to get her things and leave or she'd have me physically remove her. Vanessa left through the front door. Rachel stood in the kitchen for a minute collecting herself, then walked back outside to the party. I followed her out and she immediately went to her mom and her sister who were sitting near the fire pit. She told them exactly what had happened. Not quietly either. Her voice carried. Within minutes, everyone at the party knew. Rachel's mom looked disgusted. Her sister called Vanessa a bunch of names I won't repeat. Rachel's college friend Amy said she'd never liked Vanessa anyway and had always thought she was fake. My brother said he'd noticed Vanessa staring at me earlier and thought it was weird. The party continued for another hour or so, but the mood had shifted. People kept coming up to me and Rachel offering support or expressing shock. Rachel's dad pulled me aside and thanked me for handling it the way I did and for telling Rachel immediately. The next morning, Vanessa sent Rachel a long text message apologizing and blaming it on the wine and her recent breakup making her lonely and confused. She said their friendship meant everything to her and she didn't want to lose it over one mistake. Rachel screenshot the message and posted it to her Instagram story with the caption explaining what Vanessa had tried to do at our anniversary party. She tagged Vanessa in it. Within hours, dozens of mutual friends had seen it. Vanessa's phone number got flooded with messages from people calling her out. Vanessa tried calling Rachel probably 20 times over the next few days. Rachel blocked her number. She also blocked her on every social media platform. When Vanessa tried to reach out through other friends, Rachel told them she had nothing to say to her and didn't want any messages passed along. About 2 weeks later, Rachel got a call from another college friend named Melissa. Melissa said she'd seen Rachel's Instagram story and wanted to share something. Apparently 3 years earlier at a mutual friend's wedding, Vanessa had gotten drunk and confessed to Melissa that she'd always had feelings for me and thought Rachel didn't deserve me. Melissa had brushed it off as drunk rambling at the time, but now realized it had been serious. Rachel asked why Melissa had never mentioned it before. Melissa said she honestly hadn't thought much of it and didn't want to create drama over something that seemed like nothing. She apologized for not saying something sooner. That information made Rachel even angrier. It meant Vanessa's attempt to seduce me wasn't some spontaneous drunken mistake. It was something she'd been thinking about for years, waiting for an opportunity. It's been 4 months now. Vanessa is completely cut out of our lives. Emma asked once why Aunt Nessa doesn't come visit anymore, and Rachel told her that sometimes adults do things that hurt other people, and you have to stop being friends with them. Emma seemed to accept that. Rachel's only regret is that she didn't see it coming sooner. I told her there was no way she could have known. Vanessa had been playing the role of supportive best friend for a decade while apparently harboring completely different feelings the whole time. The silver lining is that it brought Rachel and me even closer. She tells me all the time how much she appreciates that I told her immediately instead of keeping it to myself to avoid drama. I tell her I'd never do anything to betray her trust. Our anniversary party turned into something we'll never forget, just not for the reasons we'd planned.